I'm in the last week. I'm in the last stretch of this entire challenge. And getting that lesson from Pete Golf, a huge thanks to Pete Golf. If you're watching this, Sam, as his first name, Pete's his last name. So Sam, if you're watching this, thank you for giving me a little bit of your time and sharing a couple of those things. I will be back for another lesson for sure, and I'll capture it all for you guys. But it was so valuable just being able to get the feedback from someone that's outside of yourself. And I think, you know, that was kind of like the second real lesson I've ever had. I know what's causing some of the problems. I've just got to put the work in to fix it. Now, granted, I'm not going to fix that by the time this challenge is done, but I can probably improve some of those things that I've been looking to improve. So knowledge is definitely power, and knowledge about your golf swing helps you kind of just understand what your limits are and just not get too high, not get too low about a bad swing, a bad shot, a bad round. It's really powerful stuff. So if you haven't gotten a lesson, highly recommend it. Go and see Sam Pete Golf down at Mordialloc, down at the golf studio in Mordialloc. But, you know, really, really good strength and conditioning session focused in on mobility. The number one takeaway for me has been how important that mobility plays a factor in my swing. And doesn't matter what capability you play at, it's going to cause you to have a limited swing, and you can't really build a new swing if your body doesn't allow for that swing to actually work. So you kind of have to reshape and rejig parts of your mobility. And for me, it's all been about kind of mobility in the upper shoulder, my left shoulder to be exact, and then a lot of my hamstrings. I need to get more mobility and stretching into those hamstrings, because you saw from my lesson the other day, what's causing me to kind of have a little bit of flex in my knees is that I do feel quite tight through kind of my glutes and my lower hamstrings. So got to focus, got something to work on, and you know, it's just a day-by-day thing, and we're just going to keep pushing. But today, just really taking a lot of what I've been working on and coming up with a way that I can really just dial all of it in and try to push towards the finish line. Only a week left. I've got benchmark testing in just under a week now, and I want to put myself in the best position to get an accurate read of where I'm at. But nonetheless, this entire challenge, this entire series of videos that I've created has been priceless from a self-growth perspective, but also for my golf game. I would love to know, what have you taken away? What has really stuck with you throughout this entire series? And, you know, what are you looking to maybe change or implement into your golf routine, or, you know, your lifestyle that you think you're going to benefit from? I'd love to hear it. Put it in the comment section. But let's get into today. I'm excited about today. It's another day. We get another chance to get better, and it's all we can ask for. It's time to work on my putting. I've got my Kamity golf mat lined out right here. Absolutely love using this thing. I know I've had a few people ask me, Tony, for example, you've asked me about if I rate this thing and, you know, do I recommend it? And the short answer is yes, I do. If you want to work on rhythm putting and just getting reps in, perfect, absolutely perfect for it. And it's easy to store, it's affordable. So there's a lot of pros. The cons are it's not a real putting green, so you really just got to focus on feel and what you're doing with the putter. Today I have a brand new training aid, and a huge thanks to Back to Basics Golf. They've kindly sent me one of their putting mirrors, and today I'm going to be using it. I have been using it a little bit in the last week, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what it looks like and what it's meant to do. Now, Back to Basics Golf are a brand that are dedicated to helping a lot of their, there you go, that's what it looks like, a lot of golfers improve and level up their games, and they have some great putting aids. And these putting mirrors are supposed to help with shoulder alignment, seeing what your putter head's doing. So really kind of just dialing in a lot of your putting stroke. You can also put tees through this right here and create a gate for your putter head, which is insane. It is a mirror, so you can actually see your reflection. So I'll show you a little bit of that today, or maybe I'll do a complete review of this in a separate video. But I'm going to be using this to line up my putt and also get feedback on what my putter head's doing. I'm going to be so let's get straight into this part of the combine. So I'm going to start off with just some sort of 5-foot putts right here. I'm going to line it up. There you go. You can actually see the shoulder line. It says it right there, shoulder alignment right there. You've got, this is the club path or your putter path. And then you've got this little light line, light green line, which is actually the path to the hole. And you've got these little points where you can actually put tees in the ground. Obviously I can't put a tee into this mat, and then create a gate for your putter to work within. Unbelievably cool little aid. Now, as I'm looking down with my putter, you can see where my shoulders are. So it's forcing me to kind of straighten my feet up. And then as I'm putting back, I can see the length of my stroke as well as where my putt is going. So if I were to put some tees in the ground, I can see if I'm going too much on the inside, too much on the out. Overall, really awesome tool. Coolest thing about this is actually used by Cam Smith, and we all know what kind of putter he is. So, all right, let's get this going. So, I'm going to hit a few putts here, and I'm working on a couple of really specific things using the Pro Path by Back to Basics here, this putting mirror. So I'm looking at my shoulder alignment, my eye alignment, and also looking at my club head path. So just want to try and dial all that in, put a good putt on it, and just wait for the feedback. And I don't want to lift my head, that's what I'm thinking here. I don't want to look at the hole. I want to trust my stroke as much as possible. I will say something, this feedback that I'm getting from this mirror is unbelievable. It's even forced me to kind of change my grip of my putter a little bit. And that's helping me make better contact with the ball. So very interesting straight away. I feel like I'm more over the ball than I have been in the past. But my back hurts. All right, let's keep this going here. A few more putts using this. Back to Basics also have this putting mat which you can get with some gates, so putting gates that force you to really help you kind of control your speed better, as well as your alignment, just making sure that you hit your spot each time. That wasn't good. If you guys are interested in checking this putting mirror out, you can go to backtobasics.golf, and I'll leave some links in the description. If you want 10% off, you've also got my code. If you do choose to use that link, it is an affiliate link. Anything that is purchased using that link helps my channel. Wow, that stroke looks solid. Let's go, man. Alright, I'm going to call it right there. So, really happy with that. Just want the feedback. Alright, time for a little warm up using the speed sticks here. Got speed training tomorrow. Kind of going to hold back a little bit. Just focused on making sure whatever I do, I'm doing now with less flex in my knees, a little bit more stretch through the glutes, and through kind of the lower hamstrings. Just got to be careful, obviously this is quite foreign now. that lesson really did help me kind of understand so much about my game. The heel strikes, the shanks, the things that I was focused on trying to fix, I was not necessarily not doing the wrong thing, but I just didn't have the awareness that I was so close to the ball. So I am now obviously using that little cue, which forces me to check my spacing and before I get into kind of hitting balls. So I'm just going to warm up here with some really simple Tommy Fleetwoods with my feet close together. Just get my little layup drill, as I've called it, get started here. And a couple of things I'm going to focus on in today's session. I'm striking them pretty well already. That feels pretty good. A couple of things to focus on today, especially when I'm kind of getting towards the end. Less and less technique and more about just trusting my swing. More about just trusting what I have and what I've built over the last 24, 25 days now throughout this challenge, and then putting it all together. Cool, that feels really good. So I hit about 5 or 10 balls there. When you go into my Tommy Fleetwood drill, again, sort of from here to that point right there, just focus on making good contact, still kind of warming up here. Okay, that is good contact. Pretty decent. Probably like to hit about 10 balls like this, nothing more, but really just feeling for that kind of connection, that change that I've made. You'll see that it's a lot more kind of bent over and looking at the ball a little bit more directly. Before I was kind of seated back on my heels. Could explain a lot, I think, of the problems I've had. Okay, that swing was too long. I haven't finished my Tommy Fleetwoods yet, so a bit of discipline. Come on. The other thing I'm really trying to not fix but implement is I notice that when I take my club away, I'm looking at my club and not the ball. So I want to make sure that I'm looking at the back of that ball, picking 4 or 5 dimples on the actual ball itself, and just staring at it for, until I make impact with it. It's challenging. I don't know if you do it, but I definitely need to improve that part of just looking at the ball a little bit longer. There, I did it. I did it right there. Stop looking at your club. And I hit it fat straight away. Okay, a couple of good ones and then we'll move into what is going on? I'm tripping off all over the place here. Had to put a hat on, man. My microphone just went flying. Okay. Let's get into some full swings here. 7-iron, just focused on contact, making sure those knees are not as flexed, and swinging around my body, keeping my head down, and just putting it all together. That's what this is about. Everything you've been learning, everything you've been trying to focus on, put it all together here. That's a great start. That's a good start. Let's go again. It's about hitting consecutively good shots. Yeah, not as good as the first one, but good. Kind of do like where my grip and things are, so That's pretty solid. So the one thing that Sam, or Pete Golf, I keep calling him Sam because that's his first name, but Pete Golf, what he mentioned was, because I am predominantly a right-hander that plays golf left-handed, which is what I am. As I'm pulling the club head down, the reason I leave it so open is because this is my dominant hand, my right hand. So kind of dragging it across the face of the ball, and that's what's that's what's causing those kind of soft, weak pushes out to the left. So I'm starting to implement a little forward waggle. I used to waggle backwards only, but this waggle's a bit more forward like that. And what that does is a little cue for me to just loosen up my wrist and that lead arm. I think the hard work is, that it takes to get to the point where your swing is, changed or transforms. It is a mountain of work you got to put in, but it's so worth it. I mean, I don't know about if you guys can see it or not, but for me, my swing is vastly different from when I started this challenge. I think half of the time that I keep hitting my 7-iron is because I just enjoy hitting it. Feels so good. I mean, come on. That feels crazy, man. I know I said a couple more, but okay, that deserves a club 12. Home, just implementing a lot of the stuff that I've been working on and pushing towards the end. That's the whole point here. Tomorrow's day 25. Got some cool things coming up throughout the week. A little bit of golf planned, and just want to test myself. That's the whole point. At the end of the day, I feel like I can't fail this. I've gotten to a point where I'm really, really happy with the progress I've made. Glad that we got a chance to get a little better today. I'll catch you on the next video. And don't forget, golf is hard.